Oh, thank you. Please, you shouldn't have. Okay, control yourselves, you filthy animals. Welcome to the Ballistic Report. I am your talented host, Ike Moore, and this is the show where we break down pulp culture. And you know what's funny? Last week I came up here and I complained of how there was less material for me to work with. And wouldn't you know, the pulp culture gods granted me some of the greatest 5 minutes of material that I don't even know where to begin. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? So I don't know if you guys heard this, but earlier this week, Donald Trump announced his presidential run. And I could spend all day talking about politics, but this isn't the place for it. I'd much rather CNN do all that for you. I'm only going to be talking about the character, or lack thereof, of Mr. Trump. And this guy just embodies money. I mean, he has no feelings, none of that stuff. All he cares about is making money. So it's going to be very entertaining for me and a lot of the other comedians making fun of him. So if you're a comedian out there, if you want a joke, call Mr. Trump. That's his name. That name again is Mr. Trump. And that's all I gotta say about it for right now. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on him, and if he does anything crazy, which I'm sure he will, you will hear me talk about it on this channel. In television news, the New York Times has reported that even though Trevor Noah is going to take over The Daily Show on September 28, he was not the first choice. In fact, Chris Rock was considered to take the role, but the only way he would do it is if he was able to do it for 1 year. So after the presidential election in 2016, he would pass it on to a more suitable candidate. Now, when I heard this news initially, I found that surprising because Chris Rock is my favorite comedian of all time. He's a guy that says what he means. He doesn't care how you feel about it. He's not afraid to say how he feels about certain situations. So when he came to the producers and said he would only do it for 1 year, I can see how Comedy Central they didn't want to hire him because this is more of a daily gig. You can't just say you're only going to do it for 1 year. But at the same time, Chris Rock, this guy's got stuff to do. You know, he's making movies, he's doing stand-up. He couldn't be able to be locked down on a permanent position. But let me just say, if Chris Rock took over The Daily Show, he would blow everyone else out of the water. Jimmy Fallon would be looking for a new job. Stephen Colbert would be looking for a new job. All of these late night guys, they wouldn't be able to handle it. It'd be good competition, but Chris Rock would be dominating the ratings, I can tell you that. So it's disappointing to hear, but hey, Trevor Noah, like I said on my very first episode, he will do an amazing job as host of The Daily Show. In movie news, a new trailer was released for the new Peanuts movie, and let me tell you guys, I'm really excited about this movie. I've always been a big Peanuts fan, and the trailers I've been seeing have been real sweet and very, very, very true to the source material. So I know a lot of people are worried that they're just gonna mess up the formula, but I can guarantee you, from what I've seen, they're staying true to the Charlie Brown character, and they're not gonna do anything crazy. It's going to be released November 6th, so it's right in time for the holidays. So make sure you bring your kids and everything. Let them know what Charlie Brown is all about, because these are the classics right here. I wish cartoons today had the same level of innocence that this does. Unfortunately, not every film can be perfect, because I also saw the trailer for the new film Daddy's Home. It stars Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. And it's pretty much the same stepfather versus father scenario that we've pretty much seen in every comedy. I don't know what to say. I mean, the trailer wasn't bad, but it was average at best. Will Ferrell is one of my favorite alumni to come out of Saturday Night Live, and Mark Wahlberg is very enjoyable too, but this trailer just didn't do it for me. And to top it all off, it's being released on Christmas, which is around the same time the new Star Wars movie is coming out, so it's got some stiff competition, but I'm holding out hope that this movie is good. I mean, it did have some moments, but the trailer didn't do it for me. But I am holding out that the movie is going to be good. And finally, just a friendly reminder, we are 1 week away from the BET Awards. Yay! Oh, I got low expectations for this year's show. But you can still expect my BET Awards preview June 27th and my BET Awards review June 29th. I'm going to wait a day because I want to digest what the show has given me, and I want to give a full-out review of what I saw. Now, I'm telling you up front, we aren't going to be talking about winners or losers because, like I'll talk about next week, it really doesn't matter. You guys watch for performances and what happens on stage, so we're just going to be talking about that. And that will do it for another edition of the Ballistic Report. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, you can follow me anytime on Twitter at IkeMoore2150, on Instagram under the Ballistic Report, and on Facebook under Ike Moore. If you have any comments on the stories I talked about today, just leave them in the comments section below. And until next week, I've been your host Ike Moore, reminding you it's okay to be ballistic as long as it's done responsibly. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.